Hello. Hi, thanks for being here. I see you, Busola. I must just say your name. I see you. That's my cousin right there, my baby cousin. Always such a delight to see you. I'll just wait for 2 seconds for people to join us, and we shall start in 2 seconds. How you doing? 2 seconds over. Yeah, I love you to go. Love you too. All right. On this episode, everybody is absolutely welcome. Thank you for being here. Either you're here on Instagram or you're here live on YouTube, on Facebook. I'm just excited to have you. Thank you very much for joining. Tonight is one of, those days that you have some of those topics that are fun. All right. Yes, that's the word. It's fun. It's exciting, and there's just lots to learn and lots to talk about. So my name is Bolanle Daniel Enang, and I am a family life enthusiast. I love what I do. So every Sunday, typically, I come and I have different topics on family life. What it means to be a family life enthusiast is that I actually go around looking for ways to improve people's family lives, including mine. I think it's mine first. So this is almost how do I say this? I'm almost you can say I am biased. I want to know how to do it better for my family. And once I do it better for my family, then I want to share. Because I'm one of those who likes to share. So let's jump right into it. Today we are talking about how to grow together in marriage. I think this is going to be very useful whether you are single, you're married, you are divorced, you're in a friendship, a relationship. I think both ways this works greatly. Okay, so what does it mean to grow together in marriage? Hmm. I have a scenario that I always paint. I remember, was it last week? I was talking to my husband Daniel about this. I said to him that when I was growing up, let me give you background to this. So I grew up on the university campus, the University of Lagos to be precise, in Nigeria. And ladies and ladies, I noticed something, even as a growing child. I noticed something that shook me. Let's say something that shook me, you understand? I noticed something at a very young age. And I said to myself, we've got to be very careful. All right. I noticed that because I grew up on a university campus, so the men will typically be going abroad, Manchester University. At that time, my dad went to, I think it was Southampton University in the UK, for his master's or something. But I noticed at that point in my life that a lot of people would, our mothers were sort of different. Some families, not all. I mean, there were some families that it was totally different, and I saw the difference. So people will go abroad and they'll go do some extra learning, some teaching, some their PhD at the time. Now that I'm also considering that, now I get it. So people will go abroad for their PhD. Typically, the men would be going abroad for their PhD, and then the mothers or the women would be at home, like taking care of the family and taking care of the children. But what I noticed was, so they'll go and maybe 3, 4, 5 years, they finish, they come back to their country, mostly in Nigeria, and then life will carry on. But I saw that the women, like I said, please disclaimer, so that my neighbors, those that we grow up together, will not be like, well, are they really? But most of the time, I noticed that a lot of the moms would not have developed themselves or grown themselves one way or the other. And as they came back to the country, people would work, men will continue to progress, they'll keep going, and then the women would stay in a particular position. Give them 2 years down the line, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, then the difference will be as clear as day and night. And I always wondered that, okay, family A, family B, family C, and then I'll look to some other families where maybe the man is a professor, is a lecturer, the wife is also like an administrator on the campus, and their own families were different. From that point, can I tell you, I noticed that when you stop growing, whether spiritually together, physically together, sexually together, intellectually, at that point, I understood the intellectual, discourse. There will be a disconnect. And once there's a disconnect, people will start growing apart. And then I noticed that people won't be able to have the same conversations. The children would have, like mommy does this, daddy does that, just different ways of thinking. And can I tell you, it worried me as a young girl. Already I was worried about it. It's like, what is it that makes two people who love each other? And I hope that it's love that brings them together. Hi everyone for joining. Hi Favored B, hi Chibuzo, hi Dr. Adebayo, lovely to see you. And thank you for joining also on Facebook and on YouTube. I noticed that very strongly that the growth apart would become so apparent as the years carried on. So, the happily ever after became a bit dodgy. And the question for me was, why? What is it that happens that brings this disconnect in marriage? Now, for some people, the disconnect is not even finances, it's not professional, it is emotional. So maybe you fell in love with this nice boy, how like, oh gosh, guys, the way I love love it's not a problem, but I love love. Okay, so you fall in love with this person, maybe in high school sweetheart, or university, or in the workplace, or as a mature person, and then suddenly, years down the line, there's a disconnect. And sometimes, have you heard people say they divorce for irreconcilable differences? What causes it? Have you ever wondered? Look, if you found out a few things, just put in the comment section. I really like to hear your thoughts. What happens? What causes that disconnect in marriage? What makes somebody, two people who together, you're doing well, you love each other, all of the nicest things are happening, and then suddenly you can't stand each other anymore? Can I tell you, these things don't happen in one day. And I know that marriage is one of those things that many people do not really like to talk about. Issues in marriage, for some reason, I think for Africans, you hear these things, your moms or your dads or your grannies will say, look, whatever happens in your marriage stays in your marriage. And I'm of that opinion. Believe me sincerely, I believe that. But I also noticed that a lot of people do not seek help early. And what happens to you is that there will now be challenges. And then suddenly it looks like, what happened to us? Well, so much had been happening. You just didn't think about it. You didn't want to do something about it on time. A lot of people in marriage, we bury our heads in the sand. Now, disclaimer. I've always said there's no experts anywhere. I understand we have relationship coaches, we have people that have gone to university, have a master's degree, doing things about family and all of that. No, I get that. There are parenting experts and coaches and all of that. But can I just tell you that as much as we have all of these resources around us, not everybody takes advantage of them. One, two, I feel like a lot of us shy away from seeking for help quickly. And then you get to the point where you're like, I can't. So let me backtrack. You're a single girl. You're a single guy. My sister and my brother. Listen. As the days, so the nights will be. Look before you leave. I know a lot of people say it, and people are like, please, I love him. I know you love him. He slaps you once. He says he's sorry. My sister, think about it. She scams you once. She lies about money for rent, and it's a lie. It's for a bag. My brother, think about it again. You know what? You must know your deal breakers, because these things already begin to affect us before we even start talking about growth in marriage. Each person should have their own deal breaker. You know what it is that, look, I can't take this. And it is not, oh, I can't stand somebody who snores. There's some mundane things. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about deal breakers. I want to encourage you today, if you're a young person, a guy or a girl, look closely before you leave. And I come from a very Christian perspective. Pray, ask God to help you to be able to see the things that you're not sure of, to see clearly, to hear, to see beyond the love. You know how all of us, can I tell you, when you're single, the guy sees you all made up, you're looking all hot, the guy is like so nice looking and everything. 10 years into marriage, she's got a pot belly. She's fatter. I mean, hello people, I was size 8 when I got married. I'm size 12. And that's not even being conservative. This is me that was like toothpick. So I'm being very factual on this episode. People change, and as you are changing, one of the things that I have seen, I've only been married for 13 years, but I've also lived with people, and I look around and I listen, and I realize that we grow. Listen, let me joke here now quickly. Joke. We grow, we expand. The man's tummy grows big. His hair falls out. He becomes bald. Or he's not as hairy as he used to be. He's not as sexy as he used to be. She's not as smoking hot as he. I think one of the things that shocks people when they get married, that whole thing of you go to the toilet, people, you actually see your partner in their not so, in their, I don't know, not hot states. Let's put it that way. Usually you see this girl, she's always hot, like makeup on fleek, everything on fleek. Now she's living together, she farts, she goes to the toilet, she throws her towel on the floor, the man throws his shoes, and therein begins or lies conflict. Can I encourage you? There is nothing too small or too big to talk about in marriage. Marriage is such a delicate thing that it's a relationship. I once read, I think it was in one of my study Bibles, that one of the goals of marriage is oneness. It's not even friendship, it's being one. Can you imagine? You are one person and another person formed. You are formed in your ways, and suddenly you are now supposed to be in love with this person who is different from you. How do you fuse together? It's growth. Growth is not the doctors are in the house. It's not automatic. Ah, thank you. I see all the chats. Physical change is the. I'm telling you, deal breakers after the deal has been done. I know. So I think that before the deal is done, be clear about your deal breakers. Okay, physical changes are a given, so don't go there thinking, oh, this is going to be it. So let's even move away from physical changes. How about emotions? How about emotions? A lot of us in marriage are disconnected from our spouses because they're not speaking your language. They're not speaking your love language. In fact, let me tell you, I know people who maybe you thought, oh, he will change. You like to be called, and now this guy is not calling you, but in your mind, you're telling yourself, no stress. I'm sure when we're together, everything will work. If somebody showing you love and being romantic is a big deal for you, please begin to emphasize it. This is important for me. So I've noticed that a lot of people also talk about money and finances in marriage, and oh, but How do you cope if the wife is earning more than the husband? Listen, that challenge doesn't happen in 1 second. It doesn't happen in one day. What I have come to realize is these are conversations you must have. So if you are married to a guy, you are married to a very strong woman, she's always developing herself, she's always growing herself, she's always trying to pull herself up, and you're just sitting on the couch and you're telling yourself, Kiss Sarah, Sarah, what will be, will be. There will come a time when this money matter will become a challenge. So, how do we grow together? I feel you must emphasize what is it that is important? What is it that I must do? What is that thing that has to just happen in my life? Clear it. Be clear about the things that you love. Be clear about how you are going. Pull each other along. If you are doing your PhD and your wife just has a matric result or secondary school results, please, there will come a time when you are not able to have those conversations. And so, pull your spouse along with you. There are men who have grown, you've become like a managing director in your place of work, your wife, then you now tell yourself, oh no, I can't take her to dinner. Why? Because no, she's not now on my level. And then that beautiful girl who is always speaking, she's gone to Harvard or Lagos Business School, is the person that you now think, let me go with this person. Listen, growing together, the grass is not always green on the other side. Make up your mind to grow together. Pull each other up. One of the ways I know that you can grow as a couple is to talk. So I once spoke with an elderly woman. At this point, she had been married for I think about 42 years. I know a couple who have been married for 70 years. I saw them 2 weeks ago. 70. Okay, moving on. These things can be done. If you know that for you, a woman looking in a certain way is a deal breaker for you, don't wait until all her hair is gone, all the hairline is over, she's as fatter, and that's not what you like. Can you talk about what you like? This woman said to me, and I've taken that advice, and I notice every time that I don't work on this thing, it shows in my own marriage. Couch time. Couch time is something that can save your marriage, that can grow your marriage, our marriages. So she said to me that what she used to do when they were having children and their kids were growing is they would ensure whenever she comes back from work, whenever they're in from wherever they've gone to, they will sit down and connect. This happened to me, that happened to me, I was doing this, that, those kinds of things. And she said that the more she did that, it was easier for them to really catch up on each other's lives. So I want to encourage you, find your own time. It's not just bedroom is for sex, and that's very important, by the way. I think that sex is such a binder. You cannot tell me that you are married to somebody and then you guys have not made love in like 2 years, 1 year, 18 more. I mean, like, really, women, please cut it from. That's so not on. But my real point today is about growing. Pull each other up. Find times, find your own moments where you communicate with each other. These things are key. Number 2, know your deal breakers. Know what you will know and communicate them. Many of us want our partners to read our minds. It doesn't work that way. Speak. Speak early. Speak. Open your mouth and say, dude, babe, this won't work for me. This hurts me. Or this is important for me. Do you understand? I want to encourage you. Speak. Communicate. Know where you're going. If you know as a man, look, these are my plans. You want to do your MBA, you want to do your PhD, you want to go up and keep growing. Please, can you pull your woman along? Woman, you know that you want to do your PhD, or you want to start this other business, or this is what you like to do. Can you pull your husband along? Can you explain to your husband that, look, dude, this is what I want to do? Can we do things together? I know that people say, you don't even know my husband. You don't know. But you met him. These are, you know, you knew this person. You fell in love with this person. Make up your minds to grow together. I think growing together is a deliberate thing. Have you ever seen a baby that the mother will just leave the child and say, oh, you will grow, you'll be fine. You don't give the child breast milk. You don't give the child food. You don't clean and bath the child. Of course, that child will die. And I think it's the same with marriages. If we're not, what you nurture will grow, what you ignore will die. Nurture your marriage. Find out from your spouse, what is it that will, what do you want? And this is what I want. Communicate. Grow together. You can grow together financially. Oh, people say, oh, we don't do joint account. A joint account will not work for your marriage. Talk about it. Hiding secrecy, in secrecy lies, and sin thrives in secrecy. Grow together. Talk about it. Babe, I like my sexual position this way, because we change. Sometimes some people is missionaries, some people they like it in certain ways. Find out, what does your husband want? Wife, what does your wife want? Very important. Simple things, like people say things like toothpaste, right, have broken marriages, throwing out the dustbin. Some people's love language is service. Then you say, no, but I bought her things. What's wrong with her? What is she saying? I've done this. My sister and I'm not saying that you haven't, but is that what your wife wants? Is that what your husband wants? Some of us will go around with stained clothes in the house. You're just like, look, dude, I've given birth to children. I'm a mother now. I understand you're a mother. What if for your husband, he just loves you to smell nice at home? And suddenly you are frustrating this guy by looking like, yeah, my granny. It doesn't work. Remember, this is it. It's not a dress rehearsal. This is it. So I want to encourage you. As I'm encouraging myself. The days have started and I've cried. What does it about my husband just gets what I'm saying about ABCD? I get you. I do. But the important thing is that we communicate. If we do not communicate, how will they know? For some of you, it's a kind of friends. Maybe you want to change your circle of friends. You can't just go and speak about it. I don't like this friend. Or I think we should, I find that small things are the things that affect people in marriage. And then we don't grow together. And certainly when you get to the point where you are completely frustrated, like completely, you're just like, I can't do this anymore. Before you get there, seek help. Grow together. Pull each other up. Finally, for a lot of people, they complain about the spiritual development. And women say, but I'm praying for the family. He's the priest of the house. Why is he not doing anything? Have you spoken to him about it? Have you discussed this? There's a time to talk. For some people, it's in the middle of the night after you've just finished, loving each other. And then you're like, my sweetheart, this thing. But for others, it's when the man is walking in from the door, you want to shout and say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. The home must be that haven. I'm not saying all the time it's easy, but I'm encouraging all of us today. Know the right time to communicate, to say the things that we desire, and don't keep quiet. Don't tell yourself, even if I say it is not going to answer me. Listen, family, your marriage is important. One of the greatest gifts you can give your family, your children especially, is the gift of a great marriage. Grow together. I I think the hard work, when people say marriage is not easy, I've been thinking about what does it mean, and it's true. The hard work is actually that fusing together, that growing together. A baby you don't care for will die. A marriage that you don't care for will die. That's it from me on this episode. Speak, know your deal breakers, communicate, know the right time to do your communication, but do not, what you do not want. There's a there's an African Yoruba proverb that says, what you will not take as a rich man is from when you are poor, you will say no. So don't wait until you are rich before you say no. So learn what your no is, say your no, but also know what your yes is, and also say it. All right. So that's it from me today. Thank you for joining the live broadcast. I look forward to speaking to you with you again. Please note that on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of April, I'll be hosting our first ever family live summit. It's going to be online. This one is going to be an online edition. If you live here in South Africa, watch out during this year. We're going to have some physical events very soon. I am the lead facilitator for Capacity Growth Consult, and we're a family support and family development and support organization. We're here to help you as we help ourselves. Remember, your families are to be enjoyed and not endured. And for moms and dads, don't forget, they're the best friend for your child. Put the work in, and you'll be amazed at the greatness that will come out of your family. God bless you. Thank you for joining tonight. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Please like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel, Bolanle Enan. I'll talk to you again next week. Meanwhile, go and grow your family. You can do this. Let's do this together. I'll keep you posted on my. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Bye, everybody. I see a comment. Antibolu, oh, thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day and take care. Bye.